Now at 7, Oregon now under a state of emergency over a leaking fuel pipeline. Why this could not only impact your wallet, but also your holiday travel plans. Plus, a judge orders a Coast Guard helicopter to return to Newport. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us with the latest on that situation. And you've heard of Black Friday. You've heard of Cyber Monday. But what about Travel Tuesday? I've never heard of this, but coming up at 7:15, we're taking a look at a day that could help you score that perfect vacation for a lot less. Sunrise streaming live at 7 starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green. This is another episode of Two Men and an Anchor. So we're going to start you off with meteorologist Rod Hill for a look at your weather.
All right. We have clouds. So far, the only moisture being reported was down in Salem, and that was likely a little bit of mist coming out of some foggy conditions. The clouds continue to stream inland, but so far radar is not picking up any rain that's being reported as reaching the ground. There's Salem, 40 degrees, and you can see the good visibility at the Capitol, but the low cloud deck is there. Good visibility in downtown Portland as well. We're at 42 this morning. It's a gray day, no sun. In fact, in the coming hours, we'll start to pick up a little bit of light moisture. And then before the noon hour, the steady rain push will move in. And once it does, it will simply be raining the remainder of the day. Southeast winds steady 5 to 15. Daytime temps being held in the mid 40s with the raindrops coming. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with a traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver. It's just out of range of this camera. We've got a crash on I-205 southbound. The left lane is blocked near Mill Plain, and traffic is quickly stacking up about 2-3 miles now around this. We'll take you up towards SR 500, and I think if you look off in the distance, you can see the brake lights lighting up here pretty quickly. So with that in mind, the drive southbound has jumped up to 21 minutes and building. That's from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. So be aware if you're heading, across the Glen Jackson Bridge, trying to get to a mid-morning flight out at PDX. Speaking of flights, there are some light delays nationally here, Chicago, Atlanta, and Houston. But as I looked locally at PDX, I haven't seen any major trouble there. Obviously, check ahead, but for the most part, we're in pretty good shape. And a TriMet alert to pass along for the next few minutes anyway. There are some light delays on the MAX Blue Line to Hillsborough, up to about 15 minutes. TriMet reporting some mechanical issues near Ruby Junction, the culprit for those Blue Line delays. China?
Thank you, Chris. We are continuing to cover a developing story along the Oregon coast. Last night, a judge ruled that the federal government must immediately return a Coast Guard helicopter to Newport. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us in the newsroom. Thomas, what else do we know about this ruling?
Yeah, well, China, this is a temporary restraining order to return that chopper as the case proceeds in court. Both the state of Oregon and Lincoln County sued to get the helicopter back. It's been stationed in Newport since 1987, but was recently moved 70 miles down the coast last month. Newport residents were alarmed by the move because crabbing season begins soon. That's a big industry out there, and it's dangerous work. Local officials say the helicopter conducts dozens of rescue operations every year. We spoke to people in Newport before the judge's ruling. Here's what one had to say.
Not asking for anything but the status quo, what we have had, the safety we have had for 40 years, and we're asking that this happen immediately, not when they're able to.
The federal government moved the helicopter after residents learned federal agents were looking at the Newport airport as a possible location for a new ICE detention facility. In a statement before the ruling, Homeland Security said in part, these efforts to micromanage U.S. Coast Guard operations are completely intrusive and obstruct the work of the service's men and women. They add the Coast Guard is always ready to respond to a search and rescue. Now, the judge's temporary restraining order is going to last 2 weeks here, though it could be extended. It could also have a ruling before then as well. Jenna?
Thank you, Thomas.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I saw a sailboat going down the river and somebody bobbing in the water. Hey, we got help coming, buddy.
Yep, let them know we've got help coming.
A 911 dispatcher and a Good Samaritan are being honored for saving a man who fell into the Columbia River. That man was wearing a life jacket, but he was struggling to stay afloat. That's when Solomon Flores rushed out in his kayak and pulled him from the cold water. Solomon calmly called 911 with dispatcher Holly Campbell, talking him through how to keep the man safe as rescuers tried to find their location.
Solomon's calm demeanor and his attention to detail, knowing exactly where he was and what the situation was, helped me be able to do my job.
Yesterday, the sheriff's office honored both of them for their teamwork, for staying calm under pressure, and for helping first responders get to a man who desperately needed them. The man, by the way, was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but he has since been released. A Tigard woman is facing charges accused of trying to interfere with an ICE arrest in Tigard. Agents accused a 37-year-old of pushing an officer on Sunday, hitting his vehicle with her hand, and then eventually slamming the car door, hitting the officer's arm. Meanwhile, in an update, federal agents now say they detained the McMinnville High School student that we reported on yesterday for obstructing officers. On Friday, Border Patrol agents say the 17-year-old was driving a truck and, along with another vehicle, barricaded them in. That led agents to arrest both drivers. The teenager is a U.S. citizen, and his arrest sparked protest over the weekend and a walkout at the high school on Monday. According to the McMinnville School District, that student was at lunch off campus at the time he was arrested. The teen was released Friday night. So far, the 17-year-old hasn't been charged. DHS says this is not an isolated incident, and it's part of a, quote, dangerous trend of people using their vehicles to obstruct Border Patrol officers at work. And at Multnomah County, commissioners are working on a solution for a deflection center that some worry is not worth the money. Now, you may remember the center in the Buckman neighborhood is where some people caught with hard drugs can choose to be connected with treatment instead of going to jail. But data shows less than 2 people per day on average were referred to the center in its first year. And of those referred, only 1 in 5 actually received some sort of a service. On the latest episode of The Story, Commissioner Shannon Singleton spoke with Blair Best about some of the changes that she's proposing, and that includes expanding who can be sent to the deflection center and allowing all shelter providers to refer people.
As a former outreach worker, I know that I had lots of clients who were asking for support to get sober, and right now they are not able to refer their clients into the program. There are some expanded referrals, like some peer services or Portland Street Response, but I think we need to go even bigger than that because there are people who do want to seek recovery.
So you can watch Blair's full interview with Commissioner Singleton on the newest episode of The Story, available now on our free TV streaming app, KGW+. As we approach Thanksgiving, local law enforcement and community partners are working to help families in need. Youth Services officers from the Beaverton and Hillsborough Police Departments, along with the Washington County Sheriff's Office, joined Market of Choice on Monday to hand out hundreds of meal kits to families.
We got to do a couple deliveries this morning, and watching the door open early in the morning to a gift basket, knowing that this uncertainty of not being able to have a meal over Thanksgiving and now having the certainty of being able to get it is pretty amazing.
That meal kit includes fresh produce, pantry staples, and seasonal items, and it was all thanks to local donors and community volunteers. So if you still have a few things to buy for Thanksgiving, don't wait until the day of, because some grocery stores will be closed on Thursday or have modified hours. All new season stores will be closed on Thanksgiving Day. Trader Joe's, Costco, Walmart, Target, all closed. Winco will close at 3 p.m. Safeway and Fred Meyer will also be open, but will have reduced hours, so be sure to check their websites before you head out. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at your weather.
I love that story. That one label actually says Idaho smoky cheese, bacon, mashed potatoes.
Boy, nothing gets past you.
But I mean, that just sounds great. All right, let's check out our satellite radar. We've got clouds streaming inland so far. No raindrops being reported as falling out of the clouds. It is dry at the coast so far as well. Here's our Snook Winds Casino Resort camera, Lincoln City. But there are gray clouds coming. The cloud deck's actually still fairly high. I can still see Tillamook Head looking up at another camera that shows me Seaside. 42 is the number down in Lincoln City. We have some fog pockets. Here's, I mean, it's not incredibly dense, but it's there from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha, 42 in Washington County. Out on the west side, it's 40 in nearby Hillsborough, 41 in Sherwood. Westland, Camas, each at 41 degrees. Cloudy skies, not much temperature variance this morning. Winds are generally light, 40 in Salem. Troutdale, your east winds have picked up a little bit, now sustained at about 12 to 15 miles per hour. And that's in response to a push of warmer air getting closer to the coast, which is what will bring the rain inland a little bit later this morning. So developing rain later this morning. Completely steady rain afternoon into the evening, coast and valley. Looks like during the day we stay dry in central Oregon, but moisture will come in tonight, 46 in Bend, and there's 39 in LeGrand, some late day showers out over the Blue Mountains. 7-day forecast. Once the rain picks up this morning, it's going to be pretty wet, raining at times all the way through Thanksgiving Day. So Thanksgiving Day is now looking wetter than what I've been telling you. It still looks to be very mild, 54 the high. And then Friday we break out of it and we get some sun breaks, some lingering scattered showers. Saturday potentially is dry, and then Sunday and Monday do look to be dry at this point. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with that traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver, southbound I-205, just south of Mill Plain. There's a fender bender here that has one lane blocked, and you can see the traffic now is quickly stacking up on 205 southbound. This is up near Mill Plain. You can see the southbound drive moving at like 10 miles an hour. We'll take you back towards SR 500 off in the distance. The drive definitely building. So 23 minutes to get you in from Patton Parkway to the Banfield and building. Elsewhere on the freeway system, we're not in too bad a shape this morning, although if you are hitting the roads down to the south in Lynn County, this is I-5 near Highway 34 in Albany, and we'll go a little farther south. I think you get a little better appreciation for some of the fog that's building in the southern Willamette Valley. So if you are traveling through that area, just be aware fog could be an issue down there. So far, though, generally in pretty good shape on the roads this morning. We'll keep our eyes on that I-205 situation. China?
Thank you, Chris. Looking for the best holiday gifts all this Christmas? How about a vacation? Still to come on Sunrise, why Travel Tuesday may be your chance to snag huge one-day discounts on flights, hotels, and more. Plus, Americans expected to spend less this Black Friday. More on that coming up in your consumer headlines when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
So this Friday is Black Friday and the following Monday is Cyber Monday. But have you ever heard of Travel Tuesday? I haven't. Apparently it falls on December 2nd this year, and it's a day where you can find all sorts of travel deals, making it the perfect day to ask Santa for the best gift of all, vacation. Here's Jen Sullivan with more.
When it comes to holiday shopping, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are the Super Bowl for retail. But after those two big days is a lesser-known doorbuster day called Travel Tuesday.
Travel Tuesday is the most comprehensive day of deals across the travel industry.
Travel expert Emily Kaufman, known as the Travel Mom, says the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is when you can score major discounts on flights, cruises, hotel stays, and even travel packages.
Travel is such a huge category and is in such high demand that they curated and created their own special day.
But unlike Black Friday deals, which can extend through the entire month of December, Kaufman says many of the travel bargains only last 24 hours. Here's some of the details on the discounts you can score. Kaufman says Great Wolf Lodge, which has locations around the country, has a big sale for Travel Tuesday.
They're having a one-day flash sale, which has savings of 40% on standard rooms and up to 50% for premium or themed rooms.
Personal finance site NerdWallet recently came up with a list of the best deals for Travel Tuesday. Big hotel chains are slashing prices. Hilton is offering up to 50% off of some stays. Marriott up to 40%. And many Hyatt hotels will be offering up to 30% off. It all depends on the location and dates. The secret to Travel Tuesday isn't luck, it's preparation.
Oftentimes, these deals require a specific promo code, so make sure you do your research ahead of time, and they're for select dates.
If you're looking for cheaper flights, Kaufman says travelers could save up to 40% off through the flight booking app Hopper. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Rod is suspect.
Skeptical.
All right, now for a look at your consumer headlines. Americans are pulling back this Black Friday and Cyber Monday. A new survey done on 1,200 U.S. consumers shows shoppers expect to spend 4% less this year, citing higher living costs and economic worries. It's a shift from the last 4 years when people said that they'd spend more year to year. The survey also found both lower and higher income shoppers are feeling the pinch from inflation. Saks Fifth Avenue's New York flagship is officially in the holiday spirit. The iconic store unveiled its 6 center windows featuring magical New York scenes from a snowy Central Park to a sparkling holiday tree. The Radio City Rockettes helped kick off the event, and this year's holiday light show is back. The lights will illuminate Fifth Avenue every 10 minutes from 5 to 11 p.m. through early January. And Krispy Kreme teaming up with Peanuts for the holidays. Starting Saturday, the chain will sell new donuts inspired by Charlie Brown and Snoopy, including a Charlie Brown ornament and Snoopy cookies and cream.
I like it.
And that's a look at your consumer headlines.
That I like.
Are you a Black Friday shopper?
No.
Not at all.
No. I probably should be. I'm very. There's no method at all to my holiday shopping.
Okay.
Zero method.
My thing is I make sure I don't get caught up in the emails that are sent or look for them. I go to the stores that I shop at the most often. I look at their online, and if they have it, I'll check. If not, that's it.
I like going to the stores. I will go
on Black Friday.
Not on Black Friday. I don't do anything on Black Friday, but the holiday shopping itself, because so many people buy things online.
Yeah.
I still go to the store.
You're a store goer.
I want to see it, touch it, feel it.
That sounds like a rap song.
I want to see it, touch it, feel it. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Here we go. Thank you, China, for that introduction.
And we're getting fired.
Here's our clouds streaming in to Oregon and Washington. So far, no rain, but the rain is coming. Warm front, the actual warm front, which will absolutely send snow levels up above the passes, comes in later today into this evening, actually. It's really just a matter of time at this point before the clouds start to lower and we start getting some light moisture. It will be raining later this morning into the afternoon. So today we've got rain coming and kind of kicks off a rainy pattern that looks like it will last now through Thanksgiving Day. I have a typo there, my apology. Thursday has an S. But at one point it looked like Thursday itself wouldn't be that wet, but now it just looks like the front that comes in Thursday takes all day to push through. So rain coming in later this morning and then raining all day Wednesday, rain at times through Thursday. It will be mild, 50s on Thanksgiving Day. Snow levels tomorrow above the passes, 6,000 and higher, 6,000 foot to 5,000 foot snow level on Thanksgiving Day. So the only time that we have any risk factor at all for snow over Cascade Passes is the initial bit of moisture that comes in today. Could be some snow before everything changes to rain. The weekend, Saturday looks dry and Sunday looks pretty dry as well. Here's a look at Futurecast showing the rain slowly picking up gradually this morning, and then here's this afternoon with steady rain. Now, the modeling, they kind of moved the rain area back and forth a little bit. You can see that it went to the south, now it's coming up to the north, but there are multiple moisture surges. Here we are Thanksgiving Day. In the morning, some rain. There's another push coming in the afternoon. So you put it all together. Once the rain starts today, it's going to be raining as much as not, again, through Thanksgiving Day. Weather models have actually taken the numbers and lowered them somewhat in terms of how much rain falls today through Thursday, but still looking at the potential of 1 inch in parts of the Willamette Valley and 1.5 inches of rain coming to the coast. Here's Timberline. Temperature is 29 degrees. I think the moisture that comes in today will be snow at Timberline Lodge. The passes all dry, all clean right now. 32 at Government Camp. It's 28 in Santiam and 28 also at Willamette Pass. And we'll be watching these numbers because, again, there could be a period of snow or some sort of a wintry mix before all changes to rain at some point later today. The moisture still hasn't started, but it's coming. Here's downtown Portland looking at the Tillicum and across the down to Ross Island, actually. 42 is the temperature outside. Right now, 40 in Kelso, 40 in Salem, 43 Newport. It's colder and partly cloudy out east, in fact, in the teens in Baker City and down into Burns. So real quick, valley numbers. Cold in the 40s today with the rain coming in for the rainy afternoon and the rainy evening. Southeast winds 5 to 15. Once we get past Thursday, we start to dry out on Friday with just a few scattered showers. A shower chance on Saturday, a day that might be completely dry. And Sunday right now looks to be mainly sunny. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks. We pick it up with that traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver. Again, a crash south of Mill Plain still has traffic really tied up on southbound 205. One lane is blocked, and as we take you up, you can see the lineup here. Traffic is puttering along here at about 10 miles an hour, and that extends all the way back now to SR 500. So the drive-in from Patton Parkway to the Banfield has jumped up to 25 minutes at last check. Elsewhere on the freeway system, we're generally in pretty good shape. In fact, pretty close to a speed limit clip elsewhere. It's just that I-205 South Drive that's kind of a mess right now. Nationally, air travel, some light delays, Chicago, Atlanta, and Houston that I've seen so far this morning. But looking at the Fly PDX website, I haven't seen any major trouble out at the airport. Obviously, check ahead. And as always, give yourself extra time this holiday season and be nice to one another out there as well. All right, we'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
In a blow to the Trump Justice Department, a federal judge has thrown out criminal indictments against two of the president's political foes, a former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James. NBC's Alice Barr has the details from Washington, D.C.
This morning, the Department of Justice is vowing to appeal a federal judge's ruling, throwing out the criminal charges against two of President Trump's political adversaries, former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James.
We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable.
The judge found that Lindsay Halligan, President Trump's hand-picked interim U.S. attorney in Virginia, was not lawfully appointed because of laws limiting how long top prosecutors can serve without Senate confirmation. Halligan, a former personal attorney to President Trump with no prior experience as a prosecutor, was the only lawyer to sign the Comey and James indictments, so the judge ruled both should be dismissed. Others in the office and Halligan's ousted predecessor found there was not enough evidence to indict. Indictments that came after President Trump pressured Attorney General Pam Bondi on social media to charge Comey and other political opponents.
Comey's a crooked guy. He has been for years.
Comey pleaded not guilty to charges related to lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional investigation. He maintains the charges were political.
The message has to be sent that the President of the United States cannot use the Department of Justice to target his political enemies.
James, who previously brought civil fraud charges against President Trump, pleaded not guilty to misleading her bank to get a better mortgage rate. In a statement, she said she remains fearless in the face of what she called baseless charges.
The Defense Department says it's investigating Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, a retired U.S. Navy captain and astronaut. The investigation is related to a video in which Kelly and other Democratic lawmakers encouraged members of the military and intelligence communities to defy illegal orders from the Trump administration. The Department of Defense says that this investigation could lead to Kelly being recalled to active duty for a court-martial.
Response crews are working 24/7 to try to figure out where the leak is. They have dug up about 200 feet of pipeline to try to do this.
Oregon declares a state of emergency over a leaking fuel pipeline. Coming up in our next half hour, we take a look at the impact to your wallet and why experts say there's no need to panic just yet. Plus, the Oregon Nurses Association is accusing Legacy Health of unfair labor practices after they say they refuse to negotiate ahead of a potential strike. More on that when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are coming up on 7:29 on your Tuesday morning drive. We start with a traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver. A crash on I-205 southbound near Mill Plain. Still looks like it has one lane blocked, and traffic here is really thick all the way back to SR 500 right now. So as you make your way out the door, east side of Vancouver, looks a little drizzly there as well. The trip in from Haddon Parkway to the Banfield has jumped up to 22 minutes at last check. Rod?
All right, Chris, thank you. And thank you for that weather report. Been looking for some areas where we're starting to get a little bit of light moisture falling out of the cloud base. Radar is basically picking up water droplets up into the clouds. At some point this morning, I think any light moisture starts to pick up and become widespread, and then going into this afternoon, it'll just be raining out for the remainder of the day. Here's Snookwood Casino Resort in Lincoln City. So far, not reporting moisture, 44. Here's the Vancouver camera from the Springs at the waterfront, 42. Good visibility crossing the Columbia. And there's the rainy noon hour and the rainy afternoon with temperatures holding in the mid-40s. It'll be a rainy pattern moving forward through Thanksgiving Thursday.
Good morning. We take a look at this video of an apparent tornado captured in Houston, Texas yesterday. I have two meteorologists at the desk right now to give me their thoughts on this.
Looks more, Chris, you've got better eyes. You see debris, it looks like a tornado from
So to be clear, you don't actually need to see the condensation funnel on the ground, but what you do need to see is debris maybe indicating that the circulation is reached the ground.
Right, do you see any?
Which we can't quite tell from that, but
we don't know how far away we are, but that looks like a tornado, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sure does.
So local law enforcement says that no injuries have been reported on that. A team from the National Weather Service will arrive there later today to survey the damage and confirm the intensity of the tornado. I don't think I've ever reported on a tornado in Houston. That doesn't seem common, is it?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely.
Oh,
yeah,
it is common?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm just hearing like Kansas and all them parts.
Well, I mean, you kind of grow up thinking that the old textbooks really, to your point, really used to focus on so-called Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
Oklahoma up through Kansas and Iowa and Nebraska.
Yeah.
And now that language is kind of being downgraded because it seems like the tornado base is spreading out more.
Interesting.
You know?
That's not good.
Yeah, and severe weather season is also expanding, and the Gulf Coast states see those without getting into all the particulars, they do get a lot of tornadic thunderstorms along the Gulf, right at the beach.
All right, you'll be happy to know we have no tornadoes in today's forecast. How about that?
Great.
Yes, we do have rain though. It's coming. We have cloudy skies up and down, clouds pushing out east. See where the clouds are just making their way out into eastern Oregon. It was clear, and you folks have dropped down into the teens. So far, most areas reporting clouds, but no moisture. Chris said his traffic cameras up in parts of Clark County look like there might be a little wetness. And we had some mist being reported in Salem earlier this morning, but right now McNary Field reporting all dry. Here are the clouds looking up North I-5 by the Moda Center, 42 out at the airport. So in the coming hours, look for light rain to start, or light moisture anyway, starting to develop. And then it'll just be steady rain before the noon hour, I think, throughout the rest of the day. Mid-40s. So have your rain gear with you as you head out to start your day on this Tuesday. Here's Chris.
Yes, mist, east side of Vancouver. Not only that, but a traffic alert with an earlier fender bender. This is southbound 205 near Mill Plain. Now, it looks like WashDOT and WSP have got that cleared to the shoulder, but we're still pretty slow right now on southbound 205. So plan a few extra minutes there. And again, you can see the low clouds or the mist kind of hanging there. 23 minutes is the trip in from Padden Parkway to the Banfield. Elsewhere, the drive times are maybe a little bit more than they were yesterday, but still way off the mark for our normal Tuesday morning commute in the 7 o'clock hour. We're looking at a pretty light drive right now. Inbound Hillsboro to downtown, less than 20 minutes on the Sunset. I-84 westbound from Troutdale, less than 20 minutes. So for the most part, we're doing pretty well on the roads this morning. Shanna?
Thank you, Chris. Oregon's governor has declared a state of emergency at the beginning of one of the busiest travel weeks of the year due to a pipeline shutdown north of Seattle, which supplies 90% of Oregon's fuel. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joined us in the newsroom. Thomas, are we feeling the effect of this shutdown here locally?
Yeah, well, China, we are just a little bit here in the Portland area. Gas prices have seen a slight bump, about 3 cents per gallon. But the big thing here, it's unclear how long the shutdown could stretch on for. Earlier this month, workers north of Seattle discovered a leak in that 400-mile pipeline system, again, that supplies most of Oregon's fuel. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek issued an emergency declaration Monday afternoon to ensure a consistent supply of fuel to the state by barge and truck. So far, AAA says there's been few issues with supply.
But if you've got, 7/8 of a tank, you don't need to rush to your neighborhood gas station and fill up because we are not going to run out of product.
Dodds with AAA there says a couple of months ago, a pipeline disruption actually led gas prices to spike by 32 cents a gallon. If this shutdown stretches on, Dodds says it could impact prices more significantly. And it's not just drivers that should key in on this. Jet fuel is impacted too. Airlines and SeaTac have warned flyers about schedule changes, though here the Port of Portland says PDX is not currently impacted, so knock on wood, China. Let's keep it that way.
Thomas, thank you. And as he just said right there, we're not expecting any fuel-related disruptions at PDX. And passengers we spoke with reported no significant hassles as the busiest travel days of the season get underway. More than 367,000 travelers are set to pass through PDX today through next Monday. That's a slight increase from last year's Thanksgiving holiday.
A little bit slow leaving, but smooth flight after that. And the security wasn't bad. You know, long line, but they're fast there.
And if you are driving to your holiday destination, you'll be joined by 1 million others in Oregon that are expected to hit the roads. On the water, Washington State Ferries is expecting its busiest Thanksgiving travel week since before the pandemic. More than 300,000 riders are expected to pack the docks, with 70,000 passengers on Thanksgiving Day alone. This year, the system is adding up to 440 sailings a day tomorrow through Sunday. It's about 20% more than usual. To get you caught up on some other headlines this morning, Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups pleaded not guilty to charges connected to an alleged illegal gambling scheme. Billups appeared in federal court in Brooklyn yesterday without making any comments. Prosecutors say members of the mafia used Billups' celebrity status to draw people to rigged poker games. He's one of 31 defendants charged across 2 federal investigations. Billups, who remains on leave, has his next hearing scheduled for March. In Oregon City, police arrested a 13-year-old student accused of making threats at a charter school. Authorities say the threats were found Friday in a couple of the bathrooms at the Clackamas Academy of Industrial Sciences. Classes were canceled Monday as police identified the student they believe is responsible and took them into custody. The city of Portland has started towing illegally parked vehicles that people live in and fining the owners. That includes RVs, trucks, and cars. The city will charge $250 to the owners of small and medium RVs, boats, tiny homes, and passenger vehicles. Large RVs will cost about $350. If the vehicles aren't claimed by the owners within 30 days, they will be charged $2,000 to $3,000 or more. If someone wants to pick up the vehicle, they will have to provide proof of insurance and a valid driver's license. Yesterday, our team went to a street in Northeast Portland lined with vehicles people live in.
I've been out here for about 25 years. I think they should just leave the people alone and let them live instead of coming over and taking their homes from them.
Personally, I'm glad. I'm tired of having the street across from me full of people who are not doing a good job of picking up their trash and are not very mindful of the people who live across the street from them.
One important thing to note here, the last known registered owners of these vehicles will be getting invoices in the mail. The Oregon Nurses Association has filed an unfair labor practice charge against Legacy Health. The union says Legacy Health has illegally refused to meet with advanced practice providers and come to a fair contract agreement that would avoid a strike. A group of 135 nurse practitioners, physicians associates, midwives, and clinical nurses specialists say that they plan to go on strike the Tuesday after Thanksgiving if a contract can't be reached. Legacy Health says that there are plans in place to ensure patient care continues if the strike occurs. Your time now is 7:38. We're taking a live look from our Chinook Skycam. I am no expert. I am no meteorologist, but it just looks cold out there to me, Rod.
You always think cloudy days look cold. I've noticed that about you.
Well, they do. They always do. I've never walked outside here in the Pacific Northwest where it looks cloudy and rainy and I'm like, it's hot. I need to go back inside. No.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, the funny thing is, as you get into the winter, the reality is it is often flip-flopped as we get into more of the winter season. That sunny days will be like cold and cloudy days will be fairly mild. We do have the solid cloud deck, as China mentioned, including the coast, and the clouds are starting to make their way out into eastern Oregon, where it was clear overnight and temperatures dropped into the 40s. So far, generally speaking, not seeing moisture being reported. Here's the cloud deck from the Chehalem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. Again, some of these areas may have some mist. I'm just not getting into that in the observation network that I've got at my fingertips. 41 degrees is the temperature. As you look at current temperatures, generally around 40 degrees. I still believe it's 7:39 in the morning right now, that no later than 9 o'clock this morning, so about an hour and a half from now, or hour and 20 minutes, we will start to see increasing reports of some light mist or light precip falling from the clouds. And then by the time we get to 11, so before noon, we will be into the steady rain surge pushing inland, and then the rest of the day will just be wet. Here's Kira, our pet of the day at KGW.com. I don't know what type of dog that is, but really, really beautiful, beautiful photo. Pet of the day at KGW.com is the email address to use. Send us your pets and we will get them on our air. All right, this afternoon we got the steady rain coast and valley. We have generally staying dry until tonight in central Oregon and out east. Now there will be some rain today pushing through the gorge, eventually catching the Dalles and maybe out into the blues by late afternoon as well. Once the rain starts later this morning, it'll be a rainy pattern all in all through Thanksgiving Thursday. This is a surge of mild air, 52 tomorrow, 54 the actual high temperature on Thanksgiving Day. Here's Chris.
Relatively quiet this morning, but we do have this traffic alert on the east side of Vancouver. So I-205 southbound is still really tied up here because of an earlier crash near Mill Plain. This is the live look at SR 500, and it's slow and go between here and just north of the Glen Jackson Bridge. So as you work your way in from the east side there, plan a few extra minutes. That drive time right now is right around 22 minutes or so to get you in from Paddon Parkway to the Banfield. Other drive times are in pretty good shape. Again, a typical Tuesday morning commute. These would be almost double this at this hour. So obviously we've got generally lighter volume out there on the freeway system so far this week. Down to the south, watch out for some fog. This is in the Albany area, I-5 near Highway 34 and deeper into Lynn County down near Highway 228. So fog in the southern Willamette Valley, a bit of an issue this morning, but really China so far mostly so good on the roads this morning.
Thank you, Chris.
We want to know if they hate it, if they love it, if it was a hit or a miss.
Still to come on Sunrise, a local school district puts its lunch staff to the test in a cooking competition with a mystery ingredient, and the students are the judge. A look at the dish that's ahead to next year's menu when Sunrise streaming live at 7 continues.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are taking a live look from our toy box because the KGW Great Toy Drive is going on right now, and we need your help filling up that toy box. One way you can donate is by going online, and then we'll do the shopping for you. Just go to kgw.com/toy and click Donate Cash. And it's a great week to give because all this week, local Toyota dealers will double your donations. You can also drop off a new unwrapped toy in person this Saturday at our Clackamas Promenade Collection event. We'll be there from 11 to 2 to help bring a little joy to local kids this holiday season. In Kelso, school lunch took center stage on Monday as nutrition staff faced off in a friendly cooking competition, but the real critics weren't chefs. John Goodwin has more.
At Kelso's Lexington Elementary School on Monday, the lunchroom felt more like a cooking show.
So they're challenged to come up with a recipe that's different from their colleagues and something that students would enjoy and that's easy for them to cook in their kitchens.
4 teams, 90 minutes, and zero clue what the main ingredient would be. This is the 5th annual Golden Spoon Showdown.
Okay, so our ingredient that we're going to be working with today, drum roll please.
Thanks to a farm-to-school grant from the Washington Department of Agriculture, Kelso is emphasizing more local foods and less processed ones.
We serve so many students whose primary nutrition comes from breakfast and lunch at school. So we want to make sure that their school lunch is a hit. We don't want them to not eat school lunch and go home hungry because they may not get much at home.
Katie Harris is the nutrition supervisor for Kelso schools.
It's a training where they get to learn, but it's also invest in their meals and it makes them want to try new things.
We get to know the other gals at the other schools and find new tricks and exchange ideas. And because we're all so competitive, it gets fun in this setting.
And it's just fun to do something other than our daily grind. Our daily grind is up early and we work hard all day long, and this is something fun.
Pasta casserole, goulash, shepherd's pie, and sloppy joes. An hour and a half later, the plates come out for the judges, the most important critics, this table of 5th graders.
My favorite was probably recipe for the sloppy joes. I really liked the tomato sauce. It really reminded me of a normal burger, and I also like tater tots. So
my favorite was the sloppy joes because I had it a lot when I was younger.
Recipe 2. I like how they added the mix of vegetables. And I like how they added noodles. It wasn't too salty or too sweet, so it tasted really good.
After student votes were counted, the winner
was recipe number 2, beef goulash.
The winning dish will make its way into next year's school menus, a recipe written by adults but approved by the kids who know exactly what they like.
We want to know if they hate it, if they love it, if it was a hit or a miss, and we're excited to get their input on that.
In Kelso, John Goodwin, KGW News.
Which recipe were you rooting for?
The goulash.
Oh, the one that won.
Yeah,
wow.
I had an ex-boyfriend in college. I don't remember anything from that relationship, but I do remember that his grandpa made the best goulash ever, and I've tried to make it, and it's nowhere close. Goulash is so good when it's done right.
All right, I did. Sloppy joes for me when I was a kid, I did not like sloppy joes, but now I love sloppy joes. So it's one of those foods I didn't like, now I like. Anyway, that's a fun story. Yeah, keep the hot lunches coming. Here's a look at our travel map, and the big story here is we got rain coming in later this morning, and it's a rainy afternoon. There's some question about snow levels initially this afternoon before they start to go up, and it would be rain at passes. Once that happens, tomorrow it's all rain over Cascade Pass. The snow level could be higher than 6,000 feet, and the valley will be in the 50s. Thanksgiving Day, again in the valley, will be in the 50s. The snow levels will be above Cascade Passes. So generally speaking, that is not a concern this holiday Thanksgiving weekend. Now, we get to Friday, and I put the yellow line here because once we get out of Thanksgiving Day, we start to dry out. Friday, sun breaks, a few scattered showers. Snow level still relatively high, 5,000 feet. And then Saturday has the potential to be dry. I know Matt had it dry last night in his forecast. And then we both have Sunday completely dry, mostly sunny, chilly east wind. So other than the rain that's coming in today and the wet stuff tomorrow and the rain on Thanksgiving Day, we don't overly see travel issues. The cloudiness is streaming in. The moisture hasn't really started yet, although Chris has started to see some misty spots on some of his travel cameras. So you might be starting to encounter some of that. Certainly before afternoon, the steady rain is here, and then it's raining for the remainder of today. And while the rainy area might meander north and south a little bit at times, meaning a mix of some dry time, generally today kicks off a wet pattern that will last through Thanksgiving Day. Latest updates on how much rain we're looking at today through Thursday. These numbers actually lower than 24 hours ago. It shows now about an inch in Portland and about an inch to an inch and a half of rain along the coast. Sky cameras generally show good visibility. Here's our Salem Capitol Mall shot. 40 degrees is the number there. 39 up in Kelso, 40 Salem, 36 Eugene. Not much temperature variance because of the cloudiness. 30 in Bend, and I mentioned clouds are just starting to work out into eastern Oregon. Cold night, Baker City 18 and Burns is sitting at 17 degrees. Valley forecast for today. Rain's coming, So pack your rain gear. If you're getting ready to leave the house, you'll need it for this afternoon and this evening, and it will be raining. Temperatures 46, 47 degrees for highs. Southeast winds 5 to 15. Similar setup in southwest Washington. This shows 45 in Longview. And by the way, it's a warm front. So we could be 45 in Battleground this afternoon, and then it could be 50 in Battleground at midnight tonight. And it could be 50 when we start our day tomorrow. So one of those kind of wacky nights where the temperature goes up instead of down. I've got 52 tomorrow and 54 Thursday. Again, wet weather through the day Thursday, raining here steadily before noon today. Friday, a much drier day, some breaks, scattered showers. Saturday, the potential of being dry. And then right now we've got dry weather on Sunday and on Monday. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, thanks for that. We've got a big traffic alert right now in Lynn County. Between Lynn and Benton County, we're getting word from ODOT that Highway 20 right now is closed between Albany and North Albany because of a crash here. So this is US 20 and a snapshot near Spring Hill Drive. And you can see the drive, the cars lining up there. So we'll keep you posted on this. But between Lynn and Benton County and Albany, North Albany, we've got a crash that's got that section of roadway closed. Also, not that this is related, but it does appear that there's some pretty good fog down in portions of Lynn County right now as well. Back to the east side of Clark County and Vancouver, I-205 South, still really slow here. We had an earlier crash near Mill Plain, and it appears that that's in the clearing stages, but you can see the drive is still pretty lined up on that side of town. So right now we're looking at about 23 minutes to get you from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. The I-5 commute is now getting a bit busier, just shy of 20 to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. China?
Thank you, Chris.
Nobody should be hungry, especially in this nation.
In Milwaukee, a church is overwhelmed by both need and generosity. Coming up on Sunrise, how they're helping feed hundreds of people with the help of the community.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, I talk one-on-one with an expert from the Oregon Health Authority about the issue that shut down the government. What are those healthcare subsidies, and what will happen to Oregonians if they expire at the end of next month? Watch The Story tonight, live at 6:30 on KGW, or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
A Clackamas County church is once again offering a Thanksgiving food giveaway, though after the first day, they realized that the need this year was much greater than they first thought. Catherine Cook shows us how people have stepped up to help.
After the church's call for help, community members donated more than $9,000 in less than a day. The pastor here says he is thankful, but given the need they're seeing, believes that might be enough to cover it. The table is set for giving.
Would you like ham or turkey?
And in Milwaukee, the need is great.
turkey.
How many would you like?
At the Clackamas United Church of Christ, the Thanksgiving food giveaway wrapped day 2 of 3 on Monday, offering turkeys, hams, and all the trimmings to anyone who needs food.
Someone asked if they needed to bring a piece of mail to prove their need, and I said, I don't think Jesus ever asked for ID or proof of need. If people are hungry, they just come and get fed.
Volunteer Raylene Hungate says the church served 226 meals on Sunday and filled the sanctuary twice. A steady line of cars waiting for their turn. Pastor Adam Erickson says despite their best efforts to be prepared, they weren't going to have enough food for everyone.
We were not on the target, no. We had to make another run to get more food.
Double the amount of food they served on their first day last year. Erickson says for those here, losing SNAP benefits is still taking a toll, while the economy in general accounts for a big part of the need.
We are hearing thank you so much. This is going to help us get through the holidays. We've been struggling to find food, to get food, and this is going to be a big help for us.
And then there were those who helped the church help those in need. Erickson says when they realized how much more food they needed to buy, he posted a request for help on Facebook. In less than a day, community members gave more than $9,000 in donations.
People show up and they help, and it's a really big deal.
For a really big meal that could feed families for days.
That turkey might not be all that big, but it can get sliced up and used for sandwiches and soups. Nobody should be hungry, especially in this nation.
In Milwaukee, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Sunrise, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus, and next at 8, porch pirates are on the rise across the country. One alleged ring was just busted in New York, accused of using insider information to target deliveries. We have more on this coming up in our 8 o'clock hour of Sunrise.